hard to take
Still not getting it to where it feels right. Give us like a bait casting 101 like you were giving me.
Baitcasting 101?
Yeah. Like if you've never casted a bait caster, what do you have to know?
I think guys, they use the term educated thumb, and that's just something that comes with like the more you I think if you spent an hour with a bait caster, you're almost guaranteed to figure it out. It's just, a lot of it's just in your thumb. Really, like the only thing that really goes wrong with the bait caster is you backlash. And that's just when the spool keeps spinning. Like if I don't stop it, I mean, it's feeding out. But the line will keep coming. And it's not that, it's like nothing to be afraid of. All you do is just pull your line out. Sometimes it gets really messy. But here, I'll let it like backlash, so you can, you just pull it tight, and then I always like slide it through my fingers here just because there's a lot of algae. But like if I don't, you depress the brake and then you cast, and you stop the line with your thumb when it hits the water, and then that way you get a nice tight spool every time, and then you could just retrieve and your line stays on, it doesn't like cross over itself. But if I don't stop that spool as the lure hits the water, and it's feeding out really nice right now, normally it will, the spool will keep spinning and it will start to wrap up on itself and tangle, and it will come to like a really abrupt stop. But if it does that, let's see if I can get it to do it this time so you can see how to pull it out. That's the only thing with a bait caster that really can, okay, so that's more of a bird's nest. The line is paying out pretty straight. But if it gets really tight and tangled, all you do is you just kind of fluff the line up to release all the parts where the main line is getting pinched, right? You can see like right there, if I keep pulling, it gets, see how it's like wrapping in on itself? You just keep pulling it out. That's like a standard, that's like what I'd say the most common bird nest looks like. Sometimes they get uglier than that. But you'll be pulling on this line and it gets jammed up because the line under it it's binding it. So you just fluff it up, pull it out, see it's stuck again. Just fluff it up, pull it out. Eventually, you'll get back down to your original spool. And you just engage, just pull it in. And that's really the only thing that like goes wrong with bait casting. Other than that, it's just you've got your traditional cast, which is like your overhead. I do a lot of overhead casting here because there's not room to whip your rod. Out here it's a lot of overhead and pitching, like short pitches, like around this bank. You could like pitch around this tree, you could let it swing out and around and let it fall. Flipping is where dudes will have the lure out and they just pull the line here, and then as the lure goes out they will just release it. And that's like if they know like, hey, I threw this out and it got slapped right there, I'm gonna keep throwing on that same fish, see if I can get him to take it again, see if he's just hungry and aggressive, or if he's timid and just investigating. You could flip. If you had to like get under, you could skip, which is the same, it's literally the same motion as skipping a rock, where you would just skip it on the top of the water. That definitely wasn't that, but I think we could probably get, if we get bit, this is the last spot here, if we get bit, it's gonna be in this algae right here. I don't know if that was a good tutorial. Probably not.
Sounded pretty good to me.
Yeah, you just use your thumb, your rod, and you try and catch a fish. Some people make this sound really complicated. I like bait casters just because for me it's a quicker action. I'm not like flipping anything, and like when you cast too, as your lure's in the air, you can swap hands to get set up for your retrieve. Like you can stop it with your left hand and you're ready to reel as soon as it touches the water. Like if you're trying to fish quick. You know what I mean? Dudes that are fishing for tuna that are like boiling. You know, a lot of guys, if they're throwing surface irons, they'll see tuna just boiling. and they're just trying to get their lures out there quick, so they're throwing and then they're just retrieving really fast. Bait casters make that really easy. But I never really enjoyed spinning rods. For me, it didn't, it took away some of that. I think fishing feels different for everybody, you know? Some dudes really love fishing spinners. I really like bait casters. It just adds that, like, it feels like I'm fishing, you know what I mean? It feels like a tool. So I don't know what it is with spinning rods. I'm not talking smack on them. Bet we can catch one right around this corner. If not, then spotted bay bass we're guaranteed to catch. Like, at least so hitting the rim is like getting bit. Swishing is like landing. I don't know.
Like netting something, maybe?
Sounds like a line coming out of a... Those are two really good sounds. I saw a video the other day where it was like sounds that are awesome or something. It was like a basketball swishing through the net, like, and then it was like the line getting pulled out of your reel. It's like, oh.
All right, so I'm gonna get a swish now.
Two sounds I haven't heard today. Dude, I caught 2 fish. All I have to do is make 2 shots.